you were a betting person, you probably want to bet on the children of Israel. At least I wouldn't think so. But these two nations were in conflict for years. And so what had happened was the Philistines, they were actually really originally sea people. And so they were pressing in into the land of Canaan and pressing in on the Israelites. And this was like in the middle of a 40-year reign where the Philistines were actually dominating the Israelites. But the Israelites had decided that they were going to do an offensive. Now listen, that I said they decided that they were going to do an offensive. And so we find as children of Israel, they were camped at Ebenezer, and we have the Philistines that were camped at Athens. And the last time the children of Israel were around that area, Joshua had a victory there. And so the last time they were at that place, there was victory. So I know sometimes history, I know everybody can think of a time when you've done something before and you've been successful at it. So, sometimes history doesn't always repeat itself. Sometimes we're not always successful in something we used to be successful in. So everybody can relate to that, right? Mm-hmm. So, in this instance, we find that in the battle, that the Israelites were defeated. 4,000 men were killed. And so the Israelites are retreating to their camp. And so they were going back to the camp, and they had a meeting of the elders. So in today's military, we would probably call that an AAR. So they were in the camp having an after-action report. And so they were asking the question, which, after report, we say what was supposed to happen, what did happen, what happened, and what went wrong. So they were having this AAR, and they asked the right question. They said, why did the Lord allow us to be defeated by the Philistines? That's a good question. But if we look back and why would they ask that question? But if you look back in the book of Joshua, in the 23rd chapter, as Joshua was leaving, he was old, he was leaving. But anyway, so he was reminding the children of Israel of the promises of God. And in the 23rd chapter, in the 10th verse, it says, we see a promise of the Lord to one of you roots out 1,000, because the Lord your God fights for you, just as he had promised. So the children of Israel were working on the promises of God about the victory in battle. But me being a simple person, I would expect that the next passage in that scripture would read, so they asked the question, why did the Lord allow us to be defeated by the Philistines? And you would think that they would actually inquire, petition the person that actually they were asking the question to. But